This is Michael
And Jessica.
of the Grim Life Collective, coming to you from Creep IE Con in the Inland Empire. We want to let you know you are watching the movie Canon, and guess what? Every day is Halloween in our world. All right? Stay spooky out there. Stay grim. And happy Halloween.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Movie Canon. This is Giovanni, and this is the Met Report, a show about movies, entertainment, and television news, except today it's possessed by horror talk. Why don't we go ahead and get started with our special guest here? So, like I said, this is his very first time on my channel, and I'm going to bring him in. His name is James. So let's bring him in here right now. James, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Gio?
I am doing well, doing very, very well. So, I mean, I asked you not too long ago because I learned that you were in the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 film as a child, and then I was curious and asked, if you'd be interested in being on here and just to talk about your experience. So, so I'm very glad that I'm have you on here. So again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So this is a little graphic, a little image from A Nightmare on Elm Street for the Dream Master. And just very quickly here, James, have you seen all the A Nightmare on Elm Street movies?
I have. Let's
take out the one that you're in.
Okay.
And which one would you say is the best Nightmare on Elm Street movie? Or let me rephrase that. Any Freddy Krueger movie, whether it's the one with that Robert Englund or there's the remake and then there's Freddy versus Jason. So which one would you say is the best?
I mean, you can't go wrong with the original, the first Freddy movie. And I think that's what grasped the audience with his character. And to be honest, I really did like Freddy versus Jason.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a really great, the two villains together, kind of competing. It was very intense and very gory, which, if you love horror movies, it's an amazing movie. But I would have to say, yeah, number one would probably be my ultimate favorite.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that's my favorite one too, the first one. And then I really did like Freddy vs. Jason. I know it wasn't received well critically, and I think a lot of people didn't really like it in general, but I enjoyed it. I watched it I think I watched it like every year, like during Halloween.
Yeah.
It's one of those go-to movies and stuff. So yeah, so that's just your quick thoughts there on the franchise itself. All right, so then James, and I'm gonna bring this up all the time. I'm gonna say this all the time here. I'm gonna say, do you remember this? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So how old were you, if you want to share this? How old were you when you shot the scenes in A Nightmare on Elm Street 4?
This was many years ago when I was 6 years old.
Oh wow. Okay, so do you remember a lot of it though?
I do. I believe the movie came out in '88, and I do remember till this day, pretty much everything. Being that small. So
now I'm gonna ask you about some more like detail stuff that you might not have known as a child, but maybe you found out later.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find out, or how did you find out that you were gonna be in this Freddy Krueger movie? And did you already know about Freddy Krueger?
No, I didn't. It's funny because I was talking to my mom and I was like, hey, growing up, seeing the movies or pictures that we've had in the past. And my grandparents saw like a talent ad, and they were looking for a set of twins. I have a twin brother, and we, long story short, we did our photo shoots, and we went to the casting call, and we got the part.
Do you remember what you had to do for the casting call? Like, what are some of the things that you needed to do or anything like that?
Yeah, I remember it was a bunch of people in the room, and I had to sing that Freddy song. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Oh, okay.
That was the audition that we had to do. So it was. I remember being a lot of kids there, and they had to do one kid by one, and with no parents. So I do remember being in the room, kind of nervous, but they just say sing the song, and then next thing I know it, I'm in the movie. So
Oh wow, wow. And that was you and your brother,
yeah, my brother and I, yes.
and both of you are in the movie, right?
Yes, he's in one scene. He's in the last scene of number 4 in that church scene. And I'm in the beginning scene where you see me throwing the ball with the girls, and then the church scene as well, because my twin brother didn't want to, jump rope or play ball with the
Oh,
girl.
really?
That's
But
what he said. Yeah,
But you were down to do that, right?
absolutely. Yeah, I didn't mind. So it was a really fun experience, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think that's why you have you're more in the movie than he is, right?
Yeah, just by one more scene.
By one. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So let me show you a little clip of that scene that we're talking about, the opening scene. There won't be any audio, but if you can just explain, based on your recollection as to what was going on, if you remember what was going on in your mind at the time, right? So let's see here. So again, this is from A Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Alice, there's our iconic house. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So again, this is the fourth one. This is the opening scene, and James is in this scene, and then you guys are in the last one. You and your brother are in the last scene, but it's a shorter shot with you guys, right? When it comes to the last scene.
The last scene, yeah.
This one this opening has well, you're more in it. I mean, you're not in it a lot, but there's more of you in here in this one, and yeah. So I think this is the Freddy house, if I'm not mistaken there, and I think that Freddy house is actually in L.A. somewhere. I think someone's living in it now, but I would like to visit it at one point. But what are your thoughts here? Just looking at this scene here.
Yeah, this right here, I know it was a street in LA, somewhere in Los Angeles, and the lot was empty. So this is like a template. Oh, there's me right there throwing the ball. See there?
Oh, there you go.
Lights too. There.
On the left side.
Yeah. So I remember there was a open lot, and they put like a face template on the front of the house, and you had that iconic, look right there. So.
Okay, so let me just go back there again here, because there's a lot of those scenes in Nightmare on Elm Street where there's like little kids, like singing the song. Oh, there, singing the song, and this like a little creepy vibe, little creepy moment, creepy scene there, and that's you right there, right?
Yeah.
The ball. Yeah, so that's
right
you
there.
Right there.
Yeah.
And did you ever, this is kind of a weird question I'm going to ask you right now. Do you ever like keep in contact with any of the kids that were in the scene?
No, we actually were in, we did a few scenes. Have you ever heard that movie Darkman? He was like a mad scientist.
No, I haven't.
Okay, we did a few scenes in that movie, and I believe those girls were in there too, but they actually cut the scenes out. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, we kind of lost contact with the girls after that, because this business is very competitive, and so it was just, I think we kind of got lucky with being in this film. But again, by the day, it was a great experience. I got to learn about movie magic, and going back to the beginning scene, the rain. It's kind of fascinating how they do that. I remember they're like big hoses that they had on these ladders that shot that that shot right there with the rain. I remember that, and seeing that face of the house. It's pretty scary when you're 6 years old, or inside the house where you see that scene with the little tricycle coming down the stairs. I mean, that scared me. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that scared me. Yeah. So but it was it was a great experience, and this brings back memories. I still remember just feeling scared at that moment when I remember walking in that house like that. So, see, she turns around. Yeah.
Dude, there you are again.
Right there. There's me right there. I'll take it. Yeah.
I'll take it. And do you remember when you first saw the completed film?
I did. My parents took me to, I think it was probably maybe a year later, because my parents didn't want me to kind of see it right away, because you're kind of 6 years old, you don't really know what's going on, but when you
Yeah.
get older, they kind of explain. But when I actually saw the whole movie, I loved it, and I think that's what kind of hooked me to the franchise. So made me a big fan. So
Yeah, because this is a very R-rated movie. So
yeah,
you're like,
I mean,
like
what parent would have let their 6-year-old watch an R-rated movie? So
unless you're in
uh,
it. So I
yeah,
mean,
I guess so.
that would be a good excuse there.
Yeah.
And then obviously you met Robert Englund, right? Freddie?
I did. We actually, when they doing our makeup, he was actually next to me when they were doing my twin brothers and our makeup, and he was on the right side of me. And you don't realize how long it takes, but I remember them just putting his mask on and all that latex and all that, and I think it took about 4 or 5 hours, give or take.
Oh,
And
wow.
I remember he turned around and got his Freddy claw and said, "You better learn your lines, or Freddy's gonna come get you in your dreams." And I just ran out and cried to my mom, and I'm just
Oh,
like, "Oh
wow.
my God, Freddy scared me."
That's
So
funny.
but I still remember that. And Robert England's a great guy. I mean, and I got to talk to him, in his full Freddy costume or without it. So I remember
Nice.
talking to him. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, I almost met him last year
Oh,
because he was at a convention, Monsterpalooza in Pasadena last
okay.
June, and I had gotten tickets to go. We were like ready to go and meet him, and then as we were on our way there, on social media, he sent out a video saying that he has COVID
Oh
and he
man.
wasn't able to go. And I was like, oh god, it's like because I wanted to meet Robert Englund because I met some other like horror icons or whatever, and he's the one that I'm missing. So
Oh, you have to. Yeah, I would love to meet him again. So
yeah, it'd be cool if you were to like go and like meet him and be like, I was the kid in
yeah,
Nightmare on Elm Street 4. That'd be cool.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, agree.
and there's another one.
That right
There's
there.
another scene. This one's very very short. So let me hold on a sec. Let me get over there. I think I have to pause it. Let me see if I think if I play it, we might miss it. Yeah, because I think is that the only shot? Just right here.
I believe right there. Yeah. So there's two boys.
So I don't know if you're the one on the left of the screen next to the girl, or if you're on the other side, closer to the right
Yeah,
side.
I think that's my twin brother in the front. I think I was in the back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then is that the one scene that you were talking about that Robert and Glenn was like right next to you guys?
Yes. In that particular scene, yeah, he actually scared all of us in this one. Uh, you know, and I believe we had to do several takes because we got pretty scared. Again, you're so young, and I think one of the girls too was crying and went to
Oh yeah.
her mom and dad, and you know, so but it was fun. It was a good experience. I remember that whole set with in that church, and it was very. I believe it was in a studio in I want to say Santa Clarita. That's where they did a lot of the internal like sets. They have a bunch of the big studio, and they had different segments of that. And I think this was in there. So, and it was very, very fascinating. Um, and I remember that it was creepy. When you see it on the screen, it's one thing, but when you see it live, it's just incredible. Like how much detail it takes to get these sets. They had different sets in that studio in Santa Clarita, and I particularly remember that church scene. That's always stick in my mind, and it's very detailed, like I said. And as a young child, you're not really understanding like the full concept of what's going on. But as you get older and you kind of like, oh yeah, you keep rewatching it, like, oh man, that was a great experience. Like the set was just amazing, and how scary it looked. So it was a really fun experience. It really was.
I mean, I've never really had an experience like that myself. I think the closest that I got to that is I was an extra in a movie called Seabiscuit with Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah, you were here.
And But the thing is, there was so many people. There was so many people. It was a scene where they do the one of the horse racing scenes, and I believe it was in Santa Clara or whatever city that has the Derby stuff, like the horse race stuff in LA County area. So it was there,
Oh,
and
okay.
they had us dress up like 1920s clothes. And I know they moved me to the front, but it was a lot of us. It was like hundreds of us because we were supposedly watching this horse race, Seabiscuit, and then Toby Maguire was there, but he was like riding like a fake horse, and we were there like all day. And I I've watched that movie like a couple times to see if I could ever spot myself, but I've never seen myself in there. The shots are just too fast that they're like obviously focusing on Toby Maguire, right, and the horse. But but yeah, you see a lot of people like yelling or like screaming and stuff like that because it's a race or whatever. But I never found myself, but I was there for a day. Got to see Tobey Maguire in person, but didn't get to meet him. But that's
Oh,
probably the closest that I got to any kind of like extra or whatever. Let's see, Esmeralda Perez saying cool, congratulations,
yeah.
James. Michael Rivera saying kick ass. So that's Michael Rivera. Michael, how you doing there, Michael? Okay, so I think that's it. I mean, like I said, anything else you want to add, James, regarding
Um,
your experience?
yeah, I mean, this scene right here, this pizza scene, I do remember that, um, where he stabs, I believe it's her brother, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, so that I remember that one. And the end at the end of it, do you know wherein the souls were trying to come out of him? There was a scene where they went into his like his soul, and you see all the souls in his body.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right, and they're kind of like tumbling. I
yeah.
remember that set was in that studio, and it was just looked like a big like kind of dryer type thing,
Mm.
and it had all these prosthetic limbs and heads and all kinds of things, and that kind of scared me too, being that little.
Oh
But
yeah,
I think that these two things scenes right here actually kind of still pops in my mind, as being that little. So it's.
yeah. Because I was always wonders like I wonder how like not just this particular movie, but just in general when they have like horror movies and they have kids
Yeah.
in them. Like I always wonder, like I wonder if the kids like get scared or they're just so used to it or they're like really tough kids. I don't know, So it's like I've always wondered. So it was kind of cool listening to your experience as a
Yeah.
child and telling us what's going on there.
Yeah.
But
And then being that little, I remember having my parents, on set at all times. So I think that was one of the requirements. And I remember those girls that were in the little girls that were in the movies too, seeing their parents and having the parents kind of, you know, talk among themselves, kind of relating to, because it's a very demanding, thing to be in, and it's very time consuming, and again
oh
very
yeah,
competitive. So, and everyone wants to get their shot to fame, and I was just glad I had the opportunity to kind of experience you know being in a movie, because not everyone can say, hey, I was in a movie. And it was fun, and being a little kid, it was just a good overall experience. And I will, again, would love one day to meet Robert England. So
yeah.
again, yeah.
And I know your brother's not here, your twin brother, but does he remember some of the same stuff? And was this experience the same as yours, or was he less like not as excited about it, or anything like
Oh
that?
no, he loved it too. I mean, we still talk about it till this day. We love that, like, the franchise. He showed his kids the franchise. And, we talk about it, and it was fun. And he kind of regrets not being in the beginning scene. I'm like,
Mm,
that's your fault. Um, so, but yeah, it was fun, and I always had him on. He was always there too. Even in that beginning scene, he was there. And it was just fun, just doing it together. So
but what a great experience that you had, though. What a great experience there
yeah.
in a great horror franchise. So,
Yep, absolutely.
all right. So, for everyone who's watching live, thank you for still sticking around. people who are watching the replay, thanks so much for doing that as well. So one more time here, James, thank you again for
Thanks
being
for
on
having me.
here. But I think that's going to be it. So it was a very short little horror talk video today. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And I will see you guys next time.
Bye, you guys. Have a good day. Thanks, Joe.